give you gas. There's a place that you want to go. DICK&Dank.com.
I dig it.
DICK&Dank.com.
Well, welcome back to Dope Discussions with Dick and Dank. We're moving our studios here. It's a little cold outside the edge today. I do have Donnie here. He was kind enough to open up his garage for us to record today. And we're also got Joe from the dispensary in Fulton again. But our main guest today is Sasquatch. And those of you who don't know Sasquatch, we interviewed Obi-Wan a few episodes back, and he's a referral and a friend of Obi-Wan from my support group. He lives in Oregon. He grew up in Washington, and the common thing we have now is he's got multiple TBIs. I've had the one, but biking, skiing, and he uses cannabis for his pain, anxiety, and depression. And we've got Sasquatch here today. And Sasquatch, tell us a little bit more about yourself that I haven't already said.
I enjoy gravity sports, and gravity sports won too many times, so I've suffered a lot of brain injuries. I can't tell how many years have gone by. It seems like, for me, time is just sort of a spinning wheel, and it could be last week, it could be 6 months ago, but I think, over the course of time, the things that I've learned about having a brain injury is that, you can't go back, but you can get better. And so choosing better and is a choice every day. I'm retired and glad I don't have to go to work.
Now, let me stop you right there. Now, I want to pick up where you kind of went into is that moving on, and that's where I'm at right now, because I've had that brain injury, spent the 5-6 years through depression. Physically, I recovered within, a few months. Mentally, 6-7 years, I'm still working on it. But what finally hit me in the head was, I'm not going to be who I was before. I can't get that guy back. I don't even know who that guy was anymore. I can't remember it. I look like him. I sound like him. I'm not him. Fuck that guy. He died. Unfortunately, I feel bad. I still see him in the mirror, but he's dead. I'm a new person, and this guy makes podcasts about weed and how much it's helped my mental stability, my depression, my anxiety, helps me function every day. And I believe you're on those same pathway.
Yeah. I think woodworking was sort of the process and my therapy and my hobby to recover from brain injury, and helping me to relearn discipline and patience and just sort of the executive functions to come back. And so I credit that, and there was a particular day where I've been watching a lot of TV and sitting around in my jammies and not doing much, and I kind of looked in the mirror and said, "Fuck, poor me! I can't be this guy living, just regretting the past." And that's where I sort of went down and started working on a bench that I promised my mom for her birthday. And I credit woodworking with kind of getting me off my ass and back started.
Yeah.
And so that's been a huge part of it. The anxiety and the depression that you mentioned, as well as the pain. I think weed has really helped me with just not giving a shit, not caring about it. I mean, it's there, but I just don't. It doesn't consume me like it used
Right.
to.
I say it lets me be in the moment. I can forget about all the other shit that's happened, that's going on, that might happen, that who never knows will happen. But put me back in the moment, and I can focus. And right now, I'm talking Sasquatch, and my buddy's here, and we're in the garage. Those of you who have noticed that Dick of Dick&Dank is not here today. I asked Donnie if he wants to be Dick for a day, and we've got this nice rolling tray. Big Dick is back in town, so Donnie is going to be our Dick for a day. Sorry, Dick, wherever you're at, you're not getting high with us. That's your loss. But so, moving on, new life. Now, I also hear that you grow it outside. So in Oregon, it's legal, right? And it has been for a long time. You guys are you got better prices for sure, I know. but
Yeah.
better weed, better prices, and you're growing it outside. So what's the biggest difference you're noticing from growing? You've grown inside before or not, or only outside?
I started growing outside, and now I've got a buddy who is cousin It who grows inside for me and really takes care. And he's really got it dialed. I think he'd be a great guest for you as well at a later date. But the growing season here is like May to September, late October ish, and which works out pretty well. You can get we got a plant that pretty much filled up our greenhouse, and then once the solstice hit, it went to flower, and we harvested on Halloween. So the growing season where I live worked. It worked for that growing season, and with the greenhouse, we had to take it outside most days because it just got too hot in the greenhouse.
What do you like better? Do you like indoor or outdoor better?
Indoor. I think indoor because it's we have had some like the wildfire seasons can come through, and the smoke then changes things.
So you notice a big difference then, just with the taste from what it picks up from the environment.
Yeah. And also just the knowledge that brings to growing is substantially more than we grew a nice plant. Cousin It grows really good buds, really good buds, and in a shorter time frame too.
Nice. So when you say shorter time frame, what is that like?
I think he does 4 weeks of veg, and then he puts them into their bud cycle, using the lights and abusing the plants a lot, using a soma method to distress the plants, and I think it's about a 4 to 6 week budding and then curing. Okay. So much more compressed.
All right, now I'm Dank and I don't grow it, but Dick, he's the one that grows. He's a grower, not a shower.
And I'm just a Dick, right?
Yeah, you're Dick for a day.
Yeah, Dick for a day.
Yeah, the regular Dick, he grows it, but I've had a couple of his crops, and it's pretty good. And I guess I wouldn't know the difference between smoking indoor and outdoor weed, but I'm not ready for the level of detail because he's been kind of showing me the process. He gets the clones, and he starts with a clone, and he grows it up, and then once it starts to spread out, you kind of got to break the branches a little bit to help it spread and carry more flowers. So now, when you're outside growing, do you have to do?
Yeah, it's kind of a side note. It was the best way to prepare for a pandemic was to grow some weed the summer before that thing hit. So
that's perfect.
Yeah.
And during COVID is about the time I started smoking weed.
Yeah.
So what kind of climates you guys got out there? Is it purely humid, or is it dry?
I live in the high desert, so it's dry. It's
dry. Okay.
20% humidity, and summertime temperatures are in the 70s to 90s pretty typically.
Perfect. Right on.
So, 2 seasons, winter and August. But August lasts a long time.
Right on. That'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
All right. So, and you said you're woodworking, and what else? You started a support group, you said, and then.
I do woodworking and watercolor paint. Which is really funny. I did not do art at all, and would not have considered myself an artist in the least bit prior to a brain injury. But that was sort of drawing and painting. I wouldn't say it came naturally to me, but I started developing an interest and found that there was a talent that I had no idea I would ever uncover. And so I enjoy going out and finding scenes in nature and then doing watercolors of those.
Okay. All right. Now, now you said you vape mostly.
Yeah.
Now, is that mostly for taste or smell, or what's your choice? Why do you choose vape over other options?
Well, I like flower. I use, I grind flour, and I I think I like the convenience of the small, the
Yep.
packs type device. Um, I think I feel like it's healthier than smoking, because I'm not ingesting any fumes from a gas,
Butane or something. Yeah.
butane lighter sort of thing. I have asthma, and sometimes vaping is like too much. Like yesterday, I was up skiing, and then in the afternoon, I was trying to do a vape, and my lungs were just saying no.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
body said I want it, but my lungs were saying not that way.
Yeah, vaping makes me cough more than flower, I feel. But
Yeah.
now, so you're growing your own. You still grow your own?
Yeah, yeah. Like
So
you said,
now,
got a buddy who does it.
now Dick's grows his own, and then he's also now making his own butter, and he's starting to infuse oils and butters, and I think he's going to make gummies and stuff, his own gummies. Now, do you get into that stuff? Do you infuse and?
Yeah, Obi-Wan. I got some brownies from Obi-Wan, and he had done a can of butter, I think. And you know, Obi-Wan. He's a pretty big guy. He told me that he liked a quarter brownie, and so I thought, well, I'll try a whole brownie.
Yeah.
Oh, right on.
And I got too high. That was sort of the one time I thought, man, I just went a little bit too far. I was crying to the dog, it just sort of.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, Donnie was telling
I've
about
been there
this.
myself. That's when you're going, oh God, help me get through this, man. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
I have been
But then
there.
you have a nice nap and wake up great.
Then you have a nice nap, yeah. But it's started, and then I did it again with another batch of brownies that a buddy made. So I'm sort of respectful about the
Right.
Edibles.
So when
about the edibles, yeah.
was using the best part of that buzz, did you have a problem moving your legs? Because that's what I find I have the worst problems with is trying to get my legs to work, man. They just won't work.
Yeah, I was laying on the couch and having kind of leg spasms at the time.
Oh my
Yeah.
Lord. Right on. I hear you. Son of a gun.
So I always scoffed at people. They ate too many edibles and they got too high, and I did experience.
Yeah, right on.
All right. All right. First time you got high. Can you remember that?
Gosh, I think it was in my buddy Paul's basement. I was 16 or so. Yeah, it was in the 70s.
70s, right on.
Yeah, and I just back in those days where you get the baggie, and then you take out your record album and break up the seeds
Got
and
it
stems, and
de-seeded.
then
Oh my
use
God.
the record album to try and get rid of the seeds.
That's
It
funny.
was probably pretty crappy weed if it had a lot of seeds, because I remember it having a lot of seeds. You'd go through, and the first thing you do is get rid of the seeds.
Now,
You had to
you say
shake
you
it out.
listened to episode 8. I'm going to ask you to listen to our last episode 12 where Joe told us his first time he bought hay instead of weed. So that's a pretty good one. That's a good story. But all right, so
Yeah,
first-
my son was in a wheelchair, and he had muscular dystrophy. And in high school, he and a kid with cerebral palsy and a blind kid left
Sounds like
their
the start of a
cut
joke.
class.
It does sound like a joke, right?
man.
They cut class to go smoke weed, and so talk about obvious. They went right down the main walkway out into the field, lit up, and then they got caught. We was like, well, it wasn't too hard to nail.
That's awesome.
We just laughed.
And it probably helped him.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, listen to our podcast. Well, one, we like to have fun. We like to talk about weed. We like to talk about the benefits of it. Basically, I'm trying to eliminate the stigma. I know it's getting much better than it used to be, but there's still, I think, a stigma. People
Right on.
look at you. I feel it's way better than drinking alcohol by far. It's way beneficial. You get a nice high. You have a good time. You're in the moment. and I wake up, refreshed.
Yeah.
It doesn't give me a hangover.
Yeah, right on.
I do get thirsty, but not dehydrated. But there's a difference, and that's what it's all about. We just want to bring awareness to marijuana, eliminate the fear of it, get people willing to try it at least, before you poo-poo it. Try it.
Yeah,
That's
it's
what I
not going to
say.
lead you to the next level. You're not going to go steal shit.
It's not going to make you. It's not a gateway drug. It's not all that. No, but
No, that's my dad, who's 96, he enjoys a glass of wine. He enjoys a little bit of scotch. I remember back in the day we'd go skiing and drink beer. He liked having a buzz, but he will absolutely not touch edibles or anything about it. And even CBD oils, he's like, I don't.
Yeah,
stay away from
I'm sure my
people.
dad's the same way.
It's the reefer madness syndrome, I call it. That generation just won't consider it as an option. And I think they're missing out because
it's just because you listen to the news and that's what they preached and that's all you know.
That's all they heard. Yes, exactly. My dad's lived in the early 80s and he's had terrible back pain, surgeries out the wazoo, and I got him to try to take an edible. And whether or not he really did or not, he says he did. He said he hated it, but he's always been anti-marijuana too. His whole life. It's like, Dad, how can you pass judgment on something you've never tried? I mean,
right.
Yeah, to me, it's super beneficial and it doesn't carry through some different injuries through woodworking and sports injuries. I don't like taking the pain meds. I don't like the fog of opiates and and all the other physical after effects of taking that stuff versus smoke a little and it just like I said, you don't care, it goes away.
Exactly.
You can be present and do what you want to do and enjoy life rather than waiting for the pain meds to kick in.
Exactly. And same thing with the anxiety. I've tried the anxiety meds. Same thing. You got to wait for them to take effect and you got to wean yourself on and then elevate the dosage and then, it's not working. Well, now you can't just stop it. You got to wean yourself off and then you got to wean yourself. And that's weeks and weeks and weeks. And then I started smoking weed and it's like, I'm much better when I smoke weed. Why can't I do that? Well, you can. It's just not covered by insurance. Well, then fuck, I'm going to smoke weed because it's way better. I can control it when I need to in the moment right there. No side effects, no long term. I mean, side effects, whatever. We don't know about the negative downsides yet, but I think whatever it is, the benefits I'm receiving way outweigh any negative until somebody can show me a negative side of what I'm doing with my weed smoking and how much it is, other than the money I spend on it, then until I grow it myself, then what's the issue? So it's helping me. It's not drugs. And I'm happy to be off the pharma control.
Yeah. I don't disclose to my doctor when they ask because I figure even if it's legal in this state, I still don't want to carry that with me, or I don't want it in my records. And I don't know if other people have made that same choice or not. But
I'm honest with my doctor because at first, and it was legal, so I'm like, all right, if I'm not honest with my doctor, how do I truly know how it is affecting me? And my physicals were fine. There's no issue, And I told the doctor, and she said, well, anytime you're putting anything to your lungs, I'm like, all right, fine. I smoke cigarettes once in a while, whatever else. So then what's the difference? See the shit I've breathed into my life, then I think I'll smoke weed, The fumes I've inhaled and working on a farm and cars and everything else, God knows, the dust and everything else. Like, fuck it. Smoke weed.
Yeah.
I love it. I can't speak enough about it.
That's why we're all
Maybe
here,
I should
man.
start a podcast.
Yeah,
oh, wait, we're already here. Now, so, maybe you can help me brainstorm. How do I make this thing explode? How do we get the word out? How do we get more people listening to the word we're spreading here? DICK&Dank.com. Now, you can like us on Facebook. I've got Mr. Dank 5. I can't even remember. The brain injury, the short term. These are the things I'm trying to work through, but I did make some notes here because I want people to subscribe to our website, and then every time I create an episode and send it out, I send an email blast to everybody that subscribes. So you're the first ones to get it, and then I'll put a I make a little promo cut of it and put it on our Instagram, so there's like a 40-second clip. And
Yeah.
so far, that's all I got. Past that,
Does
I don't know how to blow it up.
Does Instagram generate much traffic for you?
Well, the Instagram, oddly enough, it was easy to get followers is because anybody that's doing anything with weed, I just liked them and followed them, liked and followed, liked and followed, and then all of a sudden they follow you back. Well, now I've got like 3,000 followers or something on Instagram. Now, I don't obviously know any of them. We don't converse, but the only ones that reach out are the ones trying to sell you shit.
Yeah.
And then I say, well, I'm willing to trade. They want to sell me logos and stickers. I have a logo. If you want to give me stickers, I'll talk about your business and how great your stickers are on my podcast. And then they stop talking to me. So I am working with Joe's boss here, the local dispensary, which is probably the best way, face-to-face. That's the way I like to do business. But I'm working with the manager there. And I bring Joe on here, and he can talk about the products of the dispensary and what they're selling and any deals and at least start locally. But I don't know what you have as far as experience online and the internet as far as spreading the word. Do you listen to podcasts often? What do you think is the best option?
Or I don't listen to podcasts all that often. I sort of what I think I'm going to listen to a podcast, so I put it on and then I start sanding or using power tools, and so I miss 90% of it. And I think, well, I should just have music on instead when I'm in the wood shop.
I think people that drive a lot's a good target, but
yeah. One thing I mean, this is off topic, but I think of the states that have turned marijuana enforcement into marijuana revenue are they're genius. You know, they turn the expense into a revenue. And exactly. Colorado, Washington, California, Oregon, they've all proven the model. And I think in episode 8 you were talking about, you know, the national at 50%, the nation could and should flip.
Right, which I think we're over that.
Yeah. So, but I feel for people who are in states where it's not legal.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and you know, we took a trip to Florida, and it was like, well, how do we? I don't know how many secrets we can give out on the website, but I was like, how do we get to Florida? Because we're flying, right? It's federally illegal, and airspace is federal, so you can't travel with it. It's like, all right. Yeah. I know our local airport has a amnesty box where you drop it in on your way, and it's like, well, fuck, the security people are collecting that and smoking it themselves. That's what I would do. But so it's like, well, how do you get down to Florida? Well, it's medically legal, but then I have a medical card, but it doesn't transfer between states. It's like, well, what the shit is that? So if it's truly medicine, but I can't take it down there because I have a doctor prescribed, you know, and now I can't travel with it in the air, and then I can't buy some when I'm there, then what the shit am I supposed to do?
Seems like the amnesty box should be like you drop it off on one end and then on the other end.
There you go. It's like a shared service.
Hell of an idea.
Leave a stoner, find a stoner.
Hell yes. That's a fantastic idea.
I like it. Now you're thinking outside the box. I love it. So we'll get a pot-shaped box outside the airport where you leave weed and take weed as you get on and off plane. You know, you're on to something. This is genius.
That's fantastic.
At DICK&Dank.com.
That is fantastic.
I love it. We'll start putting our stickers on it.
Oh my Lord.
You brand those drop-off boxes and your stuff will be popular.
Find a bud, leave a bud. Yeah. It's like save a penny, here's a penny, there's a penny. There you go. I love it. Yeah. Man, that's better than having the homeless people grow weed. I like it.
Right on.
Oh, man. So what else can you tell us? Sasquatch. How do you get the name Sasquatch?
Sasquatch. Well, I think because I live in the mountains and have been between my two homes have been Washington and Oregon. I avoid people like Sasquatch.
Fair enough.
And I'm most comfortable in the wilderness. I just went to an expo. The local museum had a exhibition about sensing Sasquatch and how the native people in the native culture, they actually leave out. There's places where they have altars and they leave food for Sasquatch, and a Sasquatch is brings you good luck if you see Sasquatch. They also use the Zuniqua, which is another the wild woman of the woods, sort of another personification of Sasquatch in Northwest Native culture. Um, it's sort of the boogeyman. They tell children don't wander away from too far away because Zuniqua will get you and eat you. I'll eat you up to your bones. And so there's I guess the fear factor as well. But yeah, I think especially growing weed, I really like the idea that you can go out and either buy a clone or buy seeds. We've kind of gone to the seed route, and then grow something that is enjoyable, saves you money. You know, it can be social. You know, my buddy cousin Itz gives it to anybody with a disability. He grows enough of it that
That's awesome.
That is cool.
And it helps him, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Like I said, and I don't know that it's cheap, but if you can grow it from a seed and you're a farmer, I mean, other than watering it and some sunlight,
Right.
technically it's pretty cheap to grow. You know, harvest, dry it, smoke it, right? So it's so beneficial. It should be everywhere. You know, I don't understand why we're hiding it. And I mean, I get there's reasons that, unbeknownst to the public, that they're hiding it, I'm sure. But man, it's frustrating.
I like the theory that it's one of the plants that has co-evolved with humans. You know, as human. So have humans done that intentionally? Sure, but perhaps the plant also has an intention of being better for its use.
You know
Who
what?
knows?
That's absolutely right. Just as I don't know how to put it, but anyway, people intermixing, the melting pot or whatever. Same thing with all the buds. You had the original strains or whatever, and they've
Right.
been mixed with this to this to this to this
Making
to
it better
this,
and
and
better, yeah.
making those names that I love the names that they come up with. But each one's different and unique, and I see that's what I like about Instagram. Watching the people grow is the plants are so ornate, and the flowers, they are flowers, and they're beautiful.
Yeah,
You know,
you ain't kidding.
granted they put off a nice odor, but they are beautiful, fragrant.
Fragrant,
They all
yes.
have a different flavor, taste, and smell, and smokability. So, it's fun to grow. It's a hobby, for botanists, and then you get to smoke it and enjoy it. It's just
Fruits of your labor.
yeah, exactly. And it's
Yeah.
why aren't we doing it? Why isn't everybody doing it? It's your homegrown medicine. It should be.
It's evolving. It's coming around. I mean, I never thought I'd see it legal in my lifetime, and here I am, 60 years old, and it's legal and
It's gonna make you live longer.
I hope
Good
so.
thing they found it when they did. Gonna live longer sane, I suppose. But Donnie, a dick for a day.
Dick per day, babe.
Do you have
That's
any
right.
questions for Sasquatch?
Man, so what do you like better, sativa, indica, hybrid?
I am definitely an indica guy. Sativa makes me paranoid.
Okay, right on.
Yeah. So, and even some of my wake up routine is to get out of bed, make a cappuccino, load up my vape, and then wake and bake in the hot tub.
There you
you
go.
What?
I don't know if I'd get out.
Right. It's hard to start your day after
Sink
that.
under the
Yeah,
water. That's all
a
right.
little bit of music, a little, whatever the day holds weather-wise, and then and a buzz, and then I do my workout. So I call it sort of my rise and shine routine.
Nice.
Because that's I think the other part of brain injury health is to move and use your body and do things that
Active.
keep you active, bring you joy, and so I find that if I don't have that rise, the
Right.
shine doesn't come as easily.
For sure.
Sure.
Absolutely. And you're pretty good at committing to that every day?
Huh?
You're pretty good at committing to that every day?
Yeah. Because then
Yeah.
I have a VR workout that I do and some yoga moves and things
Yeah.
like that.
So I'm doing some yoga. I've taken some classes. The short-term memory, I can't remember them but I want to be able to be at least when they say the name, I know how to get in that position, so I can at least have a video on at home, so I don't have to go to the thing. But I meditate. I'm pretty good at doing that every day, 10 minutes a day. If you can't take that much time for yourself, then you can't be good for anybody else. And if it just takes 10 minutes for me to calm the shit show in my brain, and when I meditate when I'm high, man, that is the best. I don't know how to describe it to others, but you know, we all have those routines that get you through the day. You know, I feel like that
Right.
plant's here for our help, and I'm glad you start with it. You know, I usually 10, 11 o'clock, I think, before I start.
Get your
I
day
think
rolling,
I think
yeah.
I can get that far where I'm awake and alert, and then it takes a little bit to say, all right, I need to get my mind in the right direction and be able to be in the moment. You know, and I know Donnie was pretty early. Joe,
Yep.
you got any questions for Sasquatch?
Actually, no.
No, all right. Now, any questions as far as you know being working at the dispensary here? I don't know what kind of differences, you know, prices wise.
Well, I actually used to live out in Oregon. For
Oh,
a
that's
while,
right. Yeah.
I was out there near Portland.
Oh, okay, yeah.
In Boring. Yeah. It's called Boring.
Apple name town, yeah.
Yeah. 374 square foot tiny home. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on.
But yeah, when I left Oregon after my late wife passed, I loaded up the truck because it was cheap. I mean, at the time I was getting ounces for 60, 70 bucks. But by the time I found it all in the truck, some of it was pretty dried out because I had hit it and then I lost it.
Yeah.
Right.
By the time I found it, you know, but yeah, the prices were a lot cheaper out there.
Yeah, I know. It's been like 4 years since since I bought any flower in a dispensary. I've been buying, occasional, like if I'm traveling, if I go up to Washington, then I'll try and swing by a dispensary when I get up there. If I've had to fly up or something. Yeah. So.
How many different plants are you growing? How many different types are you growing?
Thanks. Gosh, like I said, my buddy does the growing. He grew 10 varieties last time.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Nice.
Because I think if I smoke the same kind of weed for a long time or
Right.
extended time,
Yeah.
it seems to not work as well.
Right.
So I tend
if you have, I like having that variety,
I like
but
to do a little
I don't
variety,
like. I'm not
yeah.
able to go to the dispensary and buy some of this, a little bit of this, a little bit.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to buy the eighths and justify the cost, so I'm buying the shake. I'm buying it.
Right, right.
So,
Yeah.
but then
That's
take
why
that
I like
one.
working at the dispensary because every once in a while, we get
Right.
samples.
Yeah, exactly. You get the
Samples are
samples,
fun.
yeah, variety. But no, someday I'll get into growing. We're waiting for the kid to get out of the house, and then we can grow it and use his room as a grow room or something.
Right.
Instead of a gym,
We
it'll
had-
be a grow room.
We were having our house painted at the end of the month. So the plant was about 3 weeks from harvest, and we'd open up the greenhouse, and that smell would hit the the painters, and they go, "Oh, that smells so good."
I bet. Oh, that takes some to enjoy. It's better than paint fumes, that's for sure.
Yeah,
Now, do
yeah.
you guys got to worry about? You guys got to worry about thieves out there?
Gosh, no, when I go on bike rides, sometimes I'll see people, they're growing the industrial hemp
Oh, right on.
on
Okay.
the side of the road, and they'll label it industrial hemp. So I guess I think they have problems with people grabbing plants
Yeah.
I see.
because they look the same.
Sure.
Yeah,
They just warn them, hey, you can take it, but you're not going to enjoy it.
yeah, right.
Right.
Yeah, that ain't no
Not
good.
worth your time, buddy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
And it's funny, where I live is a little blue pimple on a big red ass, so it's sort of funny to see cannabis going on.
Oh, there you go. There you go. All right. Well, I appreciate your time, Sasquatch. I don't know Obi-Wan outside of support group. I've only seen him virtually like this on the support group on Thursdays. So, but he's our number one listener because I think he falls asleep in the chair and it has it on repeat. But he is our number one listener by far. So thanks to him, the numbers that I have showing of the people that do actually listen, he's most of them. So I do appreciate him. And now he's bringing me guests. So I did want to say out there that anybody has listened to this episode, if you want to be a guest on our show, please email dank@DICK&Dank.com, and then I'll be happy to get that email and make sure you're not some crazy person trying to mess with me. But either way, it's recorded, so worst case, I don't use it. But yeah, if you're interested in being a guest on our show, please email me, and we'd like to meet you and have a chat with either regular Dick or Dick for a day.
Dick for a day.
Donnie,
Either
there
way,
you
that's
go.
right.
All right, well,
The one thing I wanted to talk about was how important the support groups are, and I met Obi-Wan at a support group. I'm going to support groups through the BIC here in Oregon.
Yeah.
Brain injury, something.
Right. It's all
And
Brain Injury
you know,
Alliance and then the state initials.
yeah.
BIA, whatever state you're in.
So the importance of community is I think huge,
Yeah.
especially with brain injury. To find people who can find get information from, get support from, help out, just people who know what you're going through. Because that like it's the invisible disability that you look fine, so why aren't you fine?
You
Is
know,
a
uh,
is
I,
a tough.
I
I don't
couldn't
know.
agree more.
It's a tough situation.
Because when right after I had that, it was COVID and I was stuck at home, and there were no meetings. And I looked to the support group. The local hospital would have one for brain injury, but then nobody was either there. They kept canceling for COVID, so I never went. Then finally, I got a virtual group, and I live in Illinois, but it's in Iowa. But I'm on the border, so we say it's okay. But anyway, I got to meet Obi-Wan, and the support group was, yeah, you get to vent, and you're right. They know exactly what you're going through, because you're right. Nobody understands. You look fine. You look like you get up, shut up. You're fine. Because they can't see the brain injury. They can't see it. And even though you tell them and remind them, and I hate being that guy, but you guys don't understand what it's like. What it's like to be in there. But the support group gets it, and they're there every week. I was hit or miss. I go on. I felt selfish. I'd use it. I feel better, and then not go. I don't need a support group. I'm better than that. And then it's like I go a little more. Then all of a sudden it hits. It's like it does help. I need it, and then I'm there. And then it's like, all right, now I want to help others. So now that's what brings me back. So, and Obi-Wan's there every week, and he's retired. He's kicked back. I think it's just his outlet. It's somebody to talk to, people that will listen, and he can listen, and he likes to see me grow, I guess, and recover and grow this podcast. So
Yeah.
we support each other. So
right. I think that's been hard after COVID, is to find those communities, because they kind of got dismantled or.
But had it been in person and not virtual, I would never have gone as often. That's for sure. Because it's virtual and I work from home. I can log in and I'm there.
There you go, right.
I can go from anywhere. I see them. They log in on their phone. They're out doing whatever. They're in their car. They're on their phone. They're in the support group meeting, because we don't care. We're just there to listen or whatever. So yeah. So it's handy that it's virtual.
To me, that's kind of I don't know how. It's, a lot of the support groups sort of have a medical backstop to them. They're either offered through a hospital or some agency, but that seems like that would be. I mean, that's your target audience. If you could get a hold of the support group network and get as far as your marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they'll be our guests. Everybody's got a story to tell. So I thought, if I wanted a unique niche to be out in the market, I'm like, well, people are going to get tired of hearing me. They probably get tired of hearing about me the first 2 episodes. So I'm going to talk to the people that listen and let them share their story, because everybody has a story to share. Do you have anything else for us before we let you go today? Because I know Google's going to let us cut us off here shortly.
Cut us off here. I just think better has no limits, and the whole model, like I think you sort of alluded to it, but whoever you were before your injury, that's the old you.
Yep.
You can't go back. You can get better.
Yep.
And this one presenter talked about it as there's the new me after the injury, but that's the result of the injury. The new me is the integration of the old me and everything that I want to.
Right.
And
always evolving, always changing, always growing.
It's always changing, always growing, and keeping your eye on the windshield, not the rear view mirror.
Yep.
Is
for sure.
I guess what I would advocate people to do is really don't look back, because that back is, you can't go back.
Yeah.
And
True.
it's frustrating to try. I went through a period where I had 20 jobs in about 2 years because I couldn't hold a job, and I was an imposter. I had the resume and the bills of somebody who no longer existed.
Yeah.
And I had to dig out of that, and
It's not fun.
it was a process. It was no fun at all.
I'm going through the same thing. It sucks. I got two significant improvement needed on my review because they were going to fire me after I injured myself at their job.
Wow,
So
see,
what the
that's
fuck?
bullshit.
Now it was a
That's
car
bullshit.
accident. I can't remember what happened, but so I think I had issues with him before the accident. This maybe gave him a reason, but luckily I was able to change roles into customer service, and now I get to work from home. And so it's I say everything happens for a reason, so I couldn't have benefited any better. So now I have the time to do this, and I get MLK Day off today, so that's even better. But again, I always say I can't change the past. I can't predict the future. All I have is right now. And
right.
that if I can just focus on what I'm doing right now, the shit is easy,
Yep.
right?
Yeah, I agree.
Be in the moment, and that's all you need.
Yeah.
But I thank you, Sasquatch. I
Thanks
appreciate you
for
for
having me
being a
on.
guest.
Right.
If you know anybody else that wants to talk about weed, enjoy our show, they're more than welcome.
Nice meeting you, sir.
Nice meeting
Nice
you.
to meet y'all. All right.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right. Thanks.
All right.
Bye-bye.
That was delightful.
Sasquatch.
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 Yeah, no doubt.
Make you glad. Tell you stories that you wanna hear, like what snacks go with beer. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. DICK&Dank.com. 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 If you wanna laugh like eating snacks, that'll give you gas. You wanna go Dick and Dank, that's the show. DICK&Dank.com. Or something.
I like it.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's perfect.